Previously on A Journey into DCC.
The perfect DCC system. It's all mine. What?
Where am I?
The transmitter you hold converts dislikes into likes. Yeah, put these on his ears and he'll start talking. Where did he go?
Hello? My pizza's ready? Okay. Be there in 5 minutes.
Okay, let's see what this thing really does.
Wow, cool. This device really does change dislikes into likes. Oh, I'm gonna get a million.
The perfect DCC system is what you seek, so listen to the words that I speak. The derailment took it from the captain, and they stored it in a locked-up cabinet. It's a dangerous mission to their lair, so please be careful and go prepared.
So, how do I find this place?
If I were you, I would do what we all do. Just Google it. I gotta go. I don't want to miss track smack.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another chapter of A Journey to DCC. I really appreciate all the likes and all the comments on the former videos. It means a lot to me, so thank you very much. In this video, I'm going to glue down my foam, draw my track lines, and put down some cork. I'm only focusing on my 2 loops. I'll do the yard and sidings at another time. Before I start, I want to know something. Do you use foam? If so, what kind? White? Pink? Blue? What kind of glue do you use? How thick do you like it? The foam, that is, not the glue. Leave a comment down below and let me know. I'll be using 1-inch thick pink foam. I prefer the pink foam because it's easy to work with and it's a bit cheaper than the blue stuff. Also, I find 1-inch thick enough for pins, but thin enough to drill holes through. And if I ever wanted to carve out a shallow water bed, like a creek or a river, I can easily do so. First thing I did was cut all my foam to size. I'm using 2x8 pieces. They fit in my vehicle easier than 4x8s. I want to have minimal gaps as possible, so I try my best to fit the largest pieces on first. Here I'm working on the toughest spot of my layout. I have to trim around the sliding door and make an angle cut. Nothing my trusty rusty knife can't handle. I never leave home without it.
I had to sand the foam in some areas so that I would have a nice snug fit and that my ends were flush with the plywood. Once all my foam was cut, I put the puzzle pieces in place and made sure they all fit together. Next step, paint. I'm just using some leftover paint from the walls. It's not an ideal color, but it was free and it hides the pink. As I wait for the paint to dry, check out this Railfan miniseries I made. You'll notice that I painted the outside edges too, so that no pink is showing. Now that all my foam is cut and painted, I can glue the pieces down. I'll be using no more nails by Lepage. I've used this stuff before, and I have no complaints. I used about 3 tubes for the whole layout. I didn't do it here, but I did spread the glue in most areas to form a better seal, especially near the edges. I then added some weight and let it sit for a good 12 hours. In the meantime, here's part 2 of that awesome Railfan miniseries. Here's a shot of all the foam in place. I can now start drawing on my track center lines.
I know, I shouldn't put track too close to the edge because of derailments and for looks, but this is a small space, so I want to maximize my area.
So I decided to go 2 inches from the wall for my outside center line. I checked with cork, a random boxcar, and the foam risers just to make sure there was enough room. I just hope this decision doesn't come back and bite me. I measured 2 inches from the wall and made a small mark with my pencil. I did this a few times and connected them with a straight edge. After my straight lines were drawn, I connected them with my 30-inch radius curve template. Chris from Go Via Go Home sold me this for $40 and it works great. Just kidding. He only charged me $10. As I mentioned before, I tried to avoid gaps in the foam, but it's hard to cut a straight line when you get your dog to hold the foam steady as you cut. I will fill these gaps with putty, but after I lay my track. I laid all my foam risers and inclines in place to get a feel for what it would look like. The highest point in the middle is about 1 inch. I started by gluing the middle piece down and then working outwards. I used Woodland Scenics foam tack glue, but you can use any white glue. Last time I did this, I used hot glue on the outside, but I left a ridge of glue that I wasn't fond of. Here's the first layer of 3 risers and 2 inclines. And here's the second layer glued down, which consists of 1 riser and 2 inclines. While the second layer dries, let's put some cork down. Here I just used the white glue and pinned the cork in place. I made sure to spread the glue around with a brush so that all the cork is glued down. I'm trying something new. I've added some scrap foam along the straight riser to hopefully get a slope like seen when all is said and done. If I don't like it, I can always cut it out. Time to plaster. I'm using this plaster wrap from Art Minds. It was on sale at Michael's. That or Chris sold to me. I bought a lot of stuff from Chris. Same old, cut the plaster sheets to desired lengths, dip them in water and place them on the foam. Spread the plaster as much as possible with your wet fingers. For another great video on this, check out the time Mike and I did this on our 4x8 layout. Okay, while that dries, check out the conclusion to my wicked cool Railfan series. Now that all the plaster is dry, I can lightly sand it and apply a coat of paint so it blends in with the rest of the layout. And here is the final product. I put the rest of the cork down for the 2 loops. You'll notice that I have 2 inches between center lines, but it widens to 2.5 inches around the curves. That's to allow long coach cars to pass each other. And here we have the final shot of all the cork down, glue dried, and I must say, I am very content with the end result.
Now my cork's down, I can start laying a track. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, take care. So yeah, it turns out that this device does turn dislikes into likes, but this guy shows up, starts speaking in rhyme, and then the translator just blows up and disintegrates right in front of me. I know, we could have been millionaires. Hey, oh, 1 second, I get the phone call. Hello? Why yes, my fridge is running.
You got the goods?
Yeah? You got the cash?
Yes.
Mark, is it anywhere else? What do you say about the allegations of animal abuse?